Alright guys, so I'm officially in Melbourne, Australia after 24 hours of traveling. I'm very out of it, I'm very tired, I need food. And the first place that we stop is the GK Tech headquarters. And there was a little surprise for me, and I'm gonna tell you right now. It is my car that is the replica of my car that Luke built for me over here. I had to go grab my camera because I didn't want to miss my first reaction. So I got it now and I'm gonna go check it out. So I've been running GK stuff in my car for what? It's gotta be like 3 years now? Yeah, 3 years? And I finally get to go to the headquarters. Hey. So this is Greg, the owner of GK Tech, and this is my car. So what have you guys been doing? Just kind of looking over it for me and make sure everything's good?
We've had John here just sort of looking over the car, just making sure it's ready to go.
So we'll take a look at this in a second, we'll kind of go over it. But the first test we have, because we've got, was it about 4-hour drive to the track?
Yeah, I think 4.5.
Yeah, so the current suspension on the car is like super junk, super stiff, kind of garbage. And we were able to get some BCs sent out. So I have the same digressive DS series that I have in my car back home with a little bit softer spring rates. And the first goal is to get these in the car. You gotta be very careful not to film the conversations that are going on behind the camera right now.
Especially if it's like live stream or...
A little inappropriate. All right, let's get these things in. All right, so John's gonna be giving me a hand changing the coilovers. This is John. So he took some measurements because the car actually did already have to get aligned. So that way we're just gonna do our best to basically match the height that the car was set at. And should be good from there. And we'll have some tow plates to check everything over at the track, but I'll show you guys little bits on the car as we go through it. Show the coilover there? The coilover? Yeah, remember how you were saying there was a bit of knocking? Yeah. You ready for it? Can you see up there? Hold on. Let me get under here a bit better. Oh man. I think that's where it was coming from.
That's what you could hear when you're driving, legit.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright, well, we should be squared away. You got a big boy of these? Because this thing's tight.
I do. One sec.
So for the starting point, we're just gonna kind of match the old suspension and then go from there, since it probably is going to be adjusted a little bit. So one thing I noticed, you see these little like black marks in here? It looks like when Luke tested the car, it was probably rubbing a little bit here. So I could just chop it off, but the easiest thing to do is just push that in, and then I'll just take the drill, and I'll just pop another zip tie down there, and it'll actually add a bit more rigidity to everything as well.
You'll need to unlock your iPhone first.
No, I won't. Perfect.
John, buddy, you're killing me. I thought you were gonna take 2 seconds.
Look at that.
I don't want to get at
Then you could chop this off, but I don't think we'll need to. So we're doing a couple other things while we're doing the coilovers. I worked on some of the body kit stuff, and I'm rewrapping this harness because it started showing some signs of wear. And then you notice this brake line up here looks a little bit dodgy, so I think you guys have some braided lines, right? So thankfully we're in the right spot for that, so we can just pop these in and then not have to worry about that. And I've already mentioned in the other video, but this car does have the full exact same GK kit as my car back home. Right now we're switching over the top hats so we can get a little bit more adjustability out of it. It's kind of cool to think now this car pretty much has every single thing in the front end brand new suspension wise. Coils, arms, everything. So it should be pretty rad. We were talking about how funny it is how I'm like halfway across the world, but like still the same universal language, just working on cars. And this thing is gonna ride nice. All new arms in the rear too. I'm pumped. Chop definitely killed it on the fabric on this thing. Conveniently enough, while they are finishing up the height adjustments, I'm going to switch out the shifter. Oh, is this a short shifter?
Yeah.
Sick, sick. It's like we're in the right spot or something for all these little mods. Cool. So I'm gonna pop this one off because we got a wiggly jiggly in there, so should make it feel a lot nicer. It's kind of funny, I was about to be annoyed because I have to take off this center console, but it's funny how all over the world S chassis are the same, where no one really puts these bolts back in back here because they're a pain to get to, so I can just, didn't even have to do anything. The car's half clean to the point where I might actually think that 91,000 kilometers is possible, which would make this thing kind of low miles, especially for a stateside car. That would mean, be like what, like 50,000 miles? 91,000 Ks would be like pretty low mileage for an S chassis here, right?
Yeah, oh that's really low. You hardly see them under 150.
Yeah. Interior wise though, engine bay, yeah, no, it definitely doesn't look like it's that young, but who knows, maybe. I haven't done one of these short shifters in forever. Oh, I gotta be careful with that stupid gasket that always likes to leak on these. So I've got the new GK plate on, and now I just gotta throw the new shifter in. Nice little brash bushing on the bottom. New shifter feels way better. Not as wobbly gobbly. Gave her a quick coat of paint just to make it look a little bit nicer since there is no actual like boot that covers it. I need me one of these gauges. So what do we have for Canberra right now?
It's supposed to be 2.6.
Yeah, that's a bit much. It's looking so good though. I did the sleepy eye mod real quick and then realized that we had a problem, so I made my own little spray booth out here to take care of it. We don't have toe plates, so we're gonna come up with a little quick concoction with one tape measure on getting a good alignment. So I'm gonna pick a spot on one and match it on both. That way we use the same reference. I'll maybe move this one a little bit farther back and then do our best to center it. All right, so we'll take measurements from those two spots. There we go. Looks sick. We've been kind of in a rush since we have a 5-hour drive to where we're going to Mount Gambier from Melbourne. So I haven't been doing the best job at covering the car, but I thought I'd show you a couple things in the engine bay that stood out to me. I know I've already kind of gone over a lot of it with you, but I want to show you some stuff. So a bit different from my setup back home. A couple cool little things. You'll see a stock fan shroud, which does keep this thing pretty cool with no AC condenser. It's got a cool little catch can set up here. Same G25 as my car back home, but it's tuned a little bit less aggressively since it is a stock bottom end. Like I said, really nice fabric from Chop on the downpipe. It's kind of cool. They use R35 mass airflow sensors instead of the Z32 ones, because it is just a stock ECU tune. But other than that, like, everything's pretty simple in this car and very similar to my setup back home. Still standard side feed injectors, stock head, just got head gasket and studs, and I'm pretty sure I covered a lot of it before, but just some of the little things that jumped out to me. Color's super, super close. It even has the green pearl in it too. That's kind of hard to see in the camera, but sometimes when you can get it to hit the light just right, you can catch it. All right, first test drive. We're just gonna make sure everything's okay since we got a 5-hour drive with this thing. I need to remember to turn on the right way.
Yeah,
Is this open?
Yeah, you just go up to it. It's like a pressure sensor.
Have you driven this?
No, I haven't yet.
Yeah. Have you been in it?
No, I haven't even been in it, to be honest.
Me neither.
Yeah, so just go left out of here.
And where am I going?
Left of the roundabout.
This thing feels responsive. Steering wheel's a little crooked. You gotta film this. Not too bad, but.
Yeah, go left, yeah.
Rubbing a little bit.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
I can feel that it's
Then
slowed in a little bit. Left here?
Not here.
Where the bike went?
Yeah, where the bike went.
Alright, now how far are we going on this?
All the way to the end.
Alright, let's see how she feels. It's got some go in her. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really responsive.
Alright, so the 5-hour drive begins around 8 p.m. We're going to be getting in late, but the good news is the car doesn't really shake that much, so that's really nice. Feels pretty solid. It's got a little bit of rubbing, a little bit of brake noise that'll hopefully go away, but as of right now, we're looking good. I think I gotta raise the back a little. This seems pretty responsive. "10 minutes later and we still can't figure out how to get the fuel thing open on this." Oh wait, I think I know the trick. I'm just kidding. No, it's just binding on the body. Alright, so one cool thing about Australia is there is quite a bit of access to E85, so we are able to travel pretty far, like I said, 5 hours, and be able to kind of coordinate E85 stops. The only thing that kind of does get tricky is you do kind of have to plan on them. You can't just like randomly expect to find a place. You have to kind of choose which places to go. Like I said, I'm like really tired and I don't really know what I'd have to film on the trip other than maybe accidentally hitting an emu or a kangaroo, which would total this car out, which hopefully won't happen, but we've been warned many times it may happen. But anyway, this is how cool it looks in the light. I'm super excited to get to drive this thing tomorrow, get to see Luke. Haven't gotten to see him yet, and hang out. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video and you're stoked for all the Australia videos to come. Make sure you drop a like, thumbs up, and all that, and I'll see you tomorrow.